Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear sweet Islamic brothers and viewers of social media, let's recite Durood and Salam. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا نور الله. Excellence of conveying Durood and Salam, the beloved Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has stated, recite Durood upon me wherever you are as it reaches me. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. In the book Excellence of Call to Righteousness, on page 305, it mentions Sayyidina Abdullah bin Amira radiyallahu ta'ala alayhi has stated, the more wealth one has, the more accountability he will have to face. So if you've got more cars, more buildings, more food in your fridge, the more you eat, there'll be more accountability. Number two, Sayyidina Abu Zar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has stated, on the day of judgment, the accountability of 2 dirhams possessing person will be more severe than 1 dirham possessing one. And number 3, a great tabi saint, Sayyidina Muawiyah bin Qurra radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has stated, on the day of judgment, the most severe accountability will be made against the healthy and influent person. And this king wanted to know what happens in the grave. So he got a grave dug, but he wanted someone to go in there for the night, one night. He had jewels, he had gold, he had dirhams. He said, this is the reward if anyone who will go into the grave and to tell me what happens in the grave. Obviously no one was turning up. Who would spend the night in the grave? If you were to ask yourself this question, if there's a grave dug up, are you willing to spend one night in the grave in darkness? But no one would turn up. No one said, no, we're not going in there. But there was one individual who was a poor person, and he had a donkey, a gada, and his duty was basically to wash people's clothes and to take it to the people and deliver them. So he volunteered and he went to the king and he says, look, I'll do it for this, the jewels and the gold, no problem, I'll spend the night. So he went in the grave for that night. The king that night didn't even go to sleep, thinking what would be happening to this individual in the grave. So when the morning came, they went to the grave to see what happened to this individual. When they took him out of the grave, he actually ran. They catched him. The king questioned him and asked him, tell us what happened in the grave. And he goes, the only questions I was asked about was regarding my donkey. And that was the only asset I had. What did you do with your donkey? And these are the questions. And there was certain questions he was asked, he was unable to answer them. And he goes, I don't need your gold and jewelry. How am I going to answer the questions of your gold and jewelry in the grave if I can't answer the question of the donkey? So this is why I'm afraid I'm not interested in the offer anymore. So my dear Islam brothers, we should prepare for the akhirah and be careful what we withdraw ourselves into. The materialistic world, it distracts us, and it distracts us from the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. The main focus should be our salah, giving charity, the 5 pillars of Islam. And for some of us, if you not perform Hajj, if you have the means of performing Hajj, we should perform Hajj. Now I know as years passed, Hajj is getting expensive. But you had time before that time to do Hajj. Some people financially were stable to do it. But they delayed it. Now the price is going to £10,000. Now they're saying it's too expensive. So we have to think about these things, my dear Islam brothers. Ala Hadrat in a couplet mentions, Ala Hadrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi has prayed to Allah Azza wa Jal in the above couplet, O Allah Azza wa Jal, for the sake of modesty and shyness of your noble Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, forgive me on the day of resurrection without accountability. I am already ashamed of myself for committing sins. Please do not make me ashamed anymore by holding me accountable for my deeds. O my beloved, O beloved of Allah Azza wa Jal, I do not deserve to be tested. Forgive me without any reason. You are all powerful. And this is mentioned in Wasail Bakshish, page 126. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear Islam brothers, as you know, we have the weekly Sunnah Inspiring Ijtima on Thursday after Salat al-Asr. It is a monthly request that you come to the Ijtima and to rectify your deeds, inshallah. Try to do call to righteousness, invite other Islam brothers to come towards the masjid. May Allah Azza wa Jalla reward you immensely. Ameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Jazallahu anna Muhammadan ma huwa ahlu. Ya Allah Azza wa Jalla, accept our Salat al-Zuhr. Accept this short dars in your court. Forgive the mistakes of dars. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give us the preparation of the Akhirah by doing good deeds, by performing our Salah, by reading the Quran and understanding the Quran and having true amal of the Quran. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give us ability to pay our zakat. Give us ability to perform our Hajj. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, make us constant and give us ability to always recite the Kalima Shahadat. O Allah Azza wa Jal, make us amongst the pious. Give us a mahal of Dawateislami. Ya Allah Azza wa Jalla, accept our ibadah in the month of Ramadan. Ya accept our fast, Ya Allah. Give us closeness to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ya Allah Azza wa Jalla, on the day of accountability, Ya Allah, make our accountability easy and grant us into paradise. Protect us from the fire of hell. Ya Allah, protect our Muslim brothers and sisters around the globe, especially Pakistan, Kashmir, Palestine, Bait al-Maqdis, Masjid al-Aqsa. Those who are suffering in calamities, those who are drowning in financial issues. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, bless them. Ya Allah, remove their financial issues for the sake of Ramadan. Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, bless our Pir and Murshid. Keep the Saya above our heads with the du'as and supplications. Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, enlighten our hearts with the nur of Muhammad. Nur of sending salutation upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Accept the du'as of the Hazreen and Majlis. Bless them with a long and pious life and death with Iman. Bless our household, our children, our mothers, our fathers with a long and pious life. And Ya Allah Azza wa Jal, give them a life of ibadah. And those who are alive, Ya Allah, give the children ability to serve them, to look after them, to achieve success through them. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.